My head is filled with white noise. Too close reverberating roar of falling water bouncing around the loudspeaker of a rocky room. Crusty eyes open just in time to see a giant centipede scuttle across the rock ceiling just inches above me. Shudder. Sleep had never come. Unkind drips to the face whenever I started to nod off. Beyond me on the narrow shelf we'd made home, one of my colleagues was more lucky. Their snoring rumbled in mockery. With limited value in a lie-in, I take stock. We have 2 cereal bars left between us. Fluids will be no problem in the dark roar of the waterfall canyon, but there's no coffee, so no reason to get up. We're sealed in a claustrophobic crack with white water cascading down through it. Above us, the nation's highest waterfall. Below, scores more falls, and then hundreds of miles of empty jungle. We are, without question, the first human beings ever to venture here. A boulder crashes down into the pool alongside us. Rockfall from somewhere high on the vertical cliffs that hem us in. The explosion echoes on and on. Perhaps this place has been unexplored for a reason. I was almost certain we were going to fail spectacularly. In 2018 to 2019, over the course of a single year, my team and I set ourselves the challenge of a fistful of expedition firsts. It was the most ambitious project any of us had attempted, the boldest expedition proposal any of us could think of since the voyages of Cousteau's Calypso. Our goal was to prove that exploration is not dead, to show that there are still dark, entrancing parts of our planet where no human has ever set foot. The destinations we chose were the sum of my life's work, entries in a tatty notebook I'd been keeping since my teens. The locations were like treasure maps, with X marking the spot of a fabled cave, or annotated with the phone number of a local with privileged access to somewhere special. I'd hoarded these nuggets like golden secrets, more valuable than jewels to anyone in the exploration game. I once wrote how I always felt I'd been born in the wrong era. When I was younger, I yearned to have been around when explorers could have sailed off the edge of the earth, when they genuinely had something grand to discover for the first time. Continents and mountain ranges, islands and oases. These Golden Age explorers really had something to risk too, usually their lives, or the lives of their crew, consumed whole by mythical giant snakes, eaten by unfriendly locals, or lost to parasites that ate them from the inside out. Scary as all of this sounded, as a kid I felt a paralysing disappointment that I'd been born too late, in a generation when all of the proper discoveries had already been made, though admittedly I didn't mind being safe from smallpox and syphilis. Now the real exploration was being made in labs, through genetics and genomics, and at the sharp end of electron scanning microscopes. Nobody in my era would ever be the first to step out of the desert and look onto the Grand Canyon. No one would ever again discover the source of the Nile, be the first to summit Everest, make the first giant leap onto the surface of the moon. However, after spending most of my adult life immersed in the field of old-fashioned expeditions, I was beginning to realise that my pessimism had been unjustified. In fact, if anything, we were on the cusp of a new golden era of exploration. The technology that seemed to make the world painfully small has also driven expeditions into a new realm. An era of ambition and information sharing, fueled by satellite mapping, drones, and other space-age technology. In fact, you couldn't even call it space-age anymore. It was iPhone, graphene, Higgs boson, dark matter-age tech. And it turned out there were still old-fashioned expeditions to be had of grand scale and scope. My friend Ed Stafford became the first person ever to walk the entire Amazon River in 2009. That same year, Hang Son Doong Cave in Vietnam, the largest in the world, was surveyed for the first time,